You can play Switch games on your Nintendo 64. Nintendo is known for its backwards compatibility in consoles like the DS and Wii, but in 1993, when the N64 was being created, the hardware designers came up with a slot that could hold a specific chip that would have come with the console. The only thing the chip did was show a screen for when the console couldn't read a game. The chip was eventually scrapped, but the slot wasn't. While creating the Switch, Yoshiaki Koizumi, overseer of development, realized the console wouldn't be backwards compatible with the previous console, the Wii U. He decided the cartridge would be the same size as the abandoned N64 chip, giving the N64 the ability to play Switch games. One thing you'll notice is the graphics are significantly worse, and the game won't save any progress. But also, I'm lying. Did you really believe me when I said? The N64 can be played with a GameCube controller. The N64 and GameCube controller connectors have the same shape, but as you can see, the GameCube connector is too small for the N64. However, you can plug your GameCube controller into the back of the N64 controller. That alone won't work. You'll also need two AA batteries. Simply rest them beside where you plugged in the GameCube controller. One should be facing up, one should be facing down. It doesn't matter which one. This is going to produce a constant flow of electricity, taking energy from the console, bringing it to the GameCube controller, and then giving it back to the console. Be careful not to touch the batteries while the console is on. But also, there's no way this would ever work. Go ahead and watch this video again. It still won't make it true. Ready? Here we go. You can use the internet on a Game Boy Advance. In 2004, a third-party company named Govio created an internet browser cartridge for the GBA. All you would have to do is make sure you had a wireless adapter plugged into your Game Boy. From there, the adapter would search nearby networks, though you had to be in really close range to receive a signal. Once online, the internet was yours to browse. These cartridges were very limited, and after Govio went out of business, they stopped being made entirely. They're extremely rare to find today, and shockingly, it still works. But also, I'm lying. That whole story was false, but at least now you won't be fooled if someone tells you. You can play DS games on the Wii. Have you ever noticed the GameCube memory card slots in your Wii? Well, as it turns out, those aren't just for the GameCube. The DS itself was not capable of storing memory, so instead, DS game data would save on cartridges themselves. DS games were kind of like their own memory cards. Put the DS game inside the first GameCube memory card slot. The Wii will recognize it as a GameCube game. Make sure there isn't already a game inside the Wii. Click start, and now you're playing your DS game, and the Wii remote will act as the stylus. You will only be able to see the bottom screen of your game, and this only works on the Wii, so don't try putting a DS game in your actual GameCube. But also, I'm lying. You can send this video to your friends to fool them into thinking that you can catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go in space. In 2018, Pokemon Go developers made an update to the game allowing people to play the game in space. Astronaut Lenny Bond promoted this feature in a video showing him playing it on the International Space Station. But how exactly does this work? Well, Pokemon Go uses data from Google Maps and Google Earth, and one day, NASA reached out to Niantic, the company that developed Pokemon Go, and asked if players could catch Pokemon in space. At the time, this wasn't an option, but soon after, Pokemon Go started tracking location data using Google Sky if the device was outside of Earth. The best part is, legendaries are extremely common to find in space. But also, I'm lying. I wish this were true, but unfortunately what I'm about to say is absolutely fake. Twitter was once released on the PlayStation 3. Now I know what you're thinking. Twitter on PS3? There's no way. But hear me out. We all remember the PS3 Netflix disc. And not long after that was released, Sony had the brilliant idea of bringing Twitter, the hottest social media app at the time, right to people's home consoles. This made it easy for gamers to access their Twitter feeds without having to leave their PS3. It was especially convenient to share achievements and screenshots from the PS3 to Twitter in seconds. Despite all of this, it was actually considered a massive flop. For one, navigating Twitter on the PS3 was difficult and felt like a chore, and it also lacked many essential features like direct messaging. But also, I'm lying. Twitter on PS3? What a stupid idea. But if it were real, I'd probably say something like, you can play GameCube games on your PlayStation 2. When the PS2 was first being created, Sony and Nintendo came to a licensing agreement that would allow their next consoles to play each other's games. Originally, both the PS2 and GameCube game discs were supposed to be small, but Sony eventually opted out of that and decided the PS2 would have the larger 4.7-inch size so it could also play DVD movies. Nintendo was furious and the agreement was called off, but it was too late for Sony to change the PS2 software, and Nintendo didn't want to change anything about the GameCube games, so as a result, the PS2 could still play them. Sony, however, was not allowed to use this as a selling point for the PS2. But it didn't take long for users to discover the the feature anyway. But also, I'm lying. This is totally fake. And you know what else is a lie? The idea that you can scan Pokemon cards to catch Pokemon in red and blue. When the Game Boy Advance SP came out, they added a feature where not only could you play original Game Boy games, but if you had Pokemon red or blue, you could scan cards to catch Pokemon in the game. The SP actually stands for Scan Pokemon. Simply put the game in the Game Boy, I'll use Pokemon Red. Notice how it says 95, 96, and 98? You're gonna need to use Pokemon cards that also have those numbers on the bottom. Go to your Pokemon and close the Game Boy. Make sure you don't already have a full team or else this won't work. Now insert the card until you feel resistance. Hold down the L and R buttons until you hear a sound.
Let's go, okay.
Kind of like a document scanner, the screen is scanning the card. You should now see the Pokemon in your team, and yes, you can do this to catch Mew. But also, I'm lying. You actually believed me. But did you know that TikTok was just released on the Nintendo Switch? I just went to my local GameStop and found this special TikTok cartridge. It cost $10, but don't worry, DK Oldies is charging $300. Now I can watch all my favorite TikToks and even upload videos from my Switch. It works just like a phone. It's vertical and uses swipe controls. This is a limited release from TikTok to celebrate 1 billion worldwide users, so get yours while you can. But also, I'm lying. You can technically still get TikTok on your Switch through the Switch's internet browser, but that's a story for another day. This cartridge, however, is not real. So now you know what I'm about to say is totally false. Okay, I gotta see if this works. So the Wii Shop Channel was closed down years ago, but apparently if you change the date on your Wii to before it was closed, you can still use it. Alright, let's see. So it closed down in 2019, so I'll change the date to 2011, right? Let's do that. Okay, I'm just gonna click on it now. Come on. Let's go. Oh my god, let's go. I am browsing the Wii Shop Channel. This is crazy. It's 2023. Oh, what happened? Oh, sorry guys, it looks like this is fake. You can play N64 games on the Wii. You might think the Wii is only backwards compatible with the GameCube, but that's where you're wrong. If you take an N64 game and hold the bottom of it up to the disc slot while you turn on the Wii, you'll see that N64 game on your home menu. Make sure there isn't already a game inside. The reason this works is because when you turn on the Wii, you'll notice a blue light flash. What that's doing is it's scanning the outside of the disc slot, so it can read an N64 game that you lean against it. This feature was made for N64 games, and it works on any Wii model. But also, I'm lying. I honestly don't even know what that blue light is for. Maybe it does that so that someone just reached out and said you can watch Netflix without even signing up. So they say you have to go to netflix.com, obviously. Now, scroll all the way down. Watch without sign up? Oh, there's no way. There's no way this actually works. What is this? No, oh my god, no way. There's no way. What is this? Is this like a bug or something? What is going on? This is such a cheat. I'm not even logged in. Hell yeah, dude. Let's watch some Spider-Man 3. Oh, what? Oh. This is fake. Yeah, this whole thing I just did, it's fake. Yeah, sorry. You can order McDonald's using a GameCube. Remember these? Good times. But have you ever seen this? It's the super rare McDonald's GameCube game. Now, the GameCube kiosks used to be in many McDonald's restaurants in North America and Japan, but they were originally meant to do what these kiosks do. The GameCubes inside McDonald's restaurants were actually supposed to contain this game, which would allow kids, or parents of kids, to order their food through them. Once ordered, a ticket would have come out of it. It would have cut the lines, sped up the ordering, but eventually McDonald's decided to use them for games instead, and the McDonald's GameCube game was never given out to the restaurants. You can still find copies of this, but they're rare and expensive. But also, I'm lying. None of this is true. You know what else isn't true? This. Did you know that you can use a JoyCon on the Wii? Here's how. First, hold down the sync button. While holding it down, take a right side Joy-Con and rapidly press the A, B, X, and Y buttons until you see the player 1 light become green. And that's pretty much it. The reason it needs to be the right Joy-Con is because of this. This is the sensor, just like on a Wii remote. So these two right Joy-Cons would work as two separate controllers, but this left Joy-Con wouldn't. It is a bit wonky. You are holding it upside down after all, but it does work. Is it worth it? Well, not really. You can't connect a nunchuck and left Joy-Cons don't work. But it is a viable option if your Wii remote got lost or broken. But this video is a lie. The whole thing was fake. Thanks for watching. Did you know that you can play GameCube games on the 3DS? Check this out. First, take out any game that's inside the game slot. Then turn on your 3DS and close it while it's on the home menu. Then take whatever game you want. I'll use Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now insert the game inside the space between the two screens without actually opening the DS. Wait until it makes this sound. It should take a few minutes, and then you can open your 3DS and take the game out. Even though you won't see anything there, hover over the game icon and press A. You're now playing the game. Be aware that it won't save, and once you turn off your system, you'll have to start over if you want to play it again. But also, I'm lying. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I win again. But also...
Okay, I don't know how I didn't already know this. Apparently you can unlock Shy Guy in Mario Kart Wii. Let's just take a look at the roster, right? Obviously Shy Guy is not there. That's for Dry Bowser. That's for Baby Daisy. So let's go ahead and just go back. Now the only thing you actually have to do is hold down 1 and 2 and just start shaking it. Just like this. Watch this. Watch this. Isn't that crazy? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You can get your Wii remote to make the sounds of different Pokemon using Pokemon cards. This is such a cool feature that I never knew about. All you have to do is turn on your Wii, take a Wii remote, and get a Pokemon card from the year 2007. You'll notice these cards have this little code at the bottom. Hold the sensor of the Wii remote up to that code and you'll hear that Pokemon's sound. This is such a cool feature, and it would be even cooler if it was real, since I'm actually lying. But what is true is that I hit a secret Charmander in this video, and a secret Pikachu in the TikTok version. Can you find them both?
Okay, I gotta see if this works. Apparently there's a hidden Thanos Easter Egg on the PlayStation 5. So the first thing you have to do is look up Thanos on the PlayStation Store. Then you gotta get games from each generation of PlayStation. So what you need to do is put in a game from each generation and then eject it, starting from 1 to 5. First up, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. You actually don't need to eject this one. Okay, let's see. No. Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! Oh, of course. Of course this is fake. And I hope I got you. I hope I fooled you. Because none of you watched my Mario Kart video, even after I specifically asked you to.
Did you know about the secret minigame on the PS2 startup screen? The PS2 has a lot of hidden features, such as being able to switch the screen resolution and aspect ratio, but this one is by far the most interesting. If you hold down the analog button on your controller during the startup screen, you'll be taken to this minigame. It's very minimal. You're in a first-person perspective traveling through the memory towers. There's no objective, but just like on the startup, the towers are accurate to the memory card inserted. It's unfinished and was actually supposed to be the original way to navigate through the memory card's save files, but was ultimately scrapped. However, it still exists in the PS2 software. There's no way to win or lose, so if you want to stop, you'll have to restart the system. But also, I'm lying. But what if I wasn't? Wouldn't that be awesome? Then I'd be able to make a video that says something like, Vine was once released on the 3DS. In 2013, Vine was everywhere, and it was one of the hottest video sharing apps at the time. Even Xbox had an app for it. But you probably didn't know that Dan Hoffman, the creator of Vine, had it released as a 3DS cartridge. It just made sense. Teenagers were their target audience, and teenagers were playing the 3DS. And with the 3DS having a camera, who wouldn't see it as a great marketing strategy? The only problem was its limited functionality. Sure, you could watch and upload videos, but you couldn't comment, share, and it was pretty slow and glitchy. After some bad initial reviews and Vine beginning to shut down for good, it was eventually pulled from stores. But also, I'm lying. First Snapchat on the 3DS and now Vine. What's next, Reddit? Gross. But did you know that...
Okay, I gotta see if this works. Apparently you can get Sonic in Smash Melee.
So Sonic was apparently supposed to be in the original game, but he didn't make the final cut. But he was recently found in the game files. So what you have to do is go to name entry, and then you gotta copy exactly what I do. So basically what this is doing is using the name entry, it's generating a character. Sonic is character number 26 in the game files, and then each character has a 3-letter code to represent them. The next step is to just play any match. It really doesn't matter. Alright, whatever. Oh shit. No way. No way. You can play Wii games on the PS3. You might not know, oh, what's the point? You all know I'm lying. Why would this even work? I mean, even if it was real, what would the purpose be? What, the two consoles used similar software? Sony used a Wii to create the PS3, and that's kinda good. The PS3 was actually built from a Wii, both physically and the software from it was also modified, which is why it works. And yes, GameCube games also work on the PS3, but also, I'm lying. You believe me? Yes, sir. You believe the whole thing. Yes! Who would ever believe a guy who said something as stupid as, this is the PlayStation 2 disc for the PS1. It's able to emulate a PS2 demo on the PS1 console. The disc was used as a marketing strategy for current PS1 owners. It would allow them to test out PS2 games without actually buying a PS2. It contained a demo version of a few of the PS2 launch games, including Madden 2001, Tekken Tag Tournament, and Eternal Ring. The disc was actually not sold in stores, but rather mailed out to PS1 owners. The PlayStation 2 ended up being the most sold console ever, so this proved to be a successful tactic in getting users to upgrade from 1 to 2. But also, I'm lying. I'm gonna go now while you think about how you just believed me. Hey, while you're just believing stuff, believe this. You can use an NES controller on a Game Boy Advance. I can't believe I didn't know about this feature. If you take an NES controller, you'll notice the connector is way too big for the GBA ports. You'll need to shrink the controller. We all know putting things in the dryer will shrink them, but that's gonna take way too long, so I'll use the microwave instead. Set it to a few minutes, and then... But also, I'm lying. Okay, let's try this again. Instagram was once released on the Wii. I'm sure you've seen the Netflix disc for the Wii, but in 2012, Instagram was becoming one of the biggest social media companies, and Nintendo figured they ought to capitalize on it by putting the app on a disc exclusive to the Wii. While you couldn't post anything on the disc version, you were still able to like and comment on posts. The biggest problem was how slow it was. Everything you did, even just changing tabs, took you to, at minimum, a 10-second loading screen. The disc sold poorly. It just couldn't compete with the app. But also, I'm lying. We've done Twitter, Snapchat, Vine. There's an entire compilation on my channel of all the lies about social media games I've told. And I will now end the series with Instagram. But also, I'm lying again. Reddit on Game Boy coming soon. Stay tuned. Also...
Okay, I gotta try this. Someone just discovered this glitch where you can unlock Waluigi in Smash Bros. Brawl. So you know how whenever you play a certain amount of matches, a character will show up, and then if you beat them, you unlock them? Well, basically the glitch is that you lose on purpose, and you keep losing until you've reached 450 battles, which gets you to Wolf. So I have no characters because Ness keeps showing up at the end of the battles and I lose on purpose. And at this point I'm at 450 battles, which means every unlockable character is just ready, waiting for me to unlock them. But I gotta unlock Ness first, right? But if you keep waiting and never unlocking anybody, eventually the game will glitch and will show you Waluigi. So basically I'm just gonna play a random match and I'm just gonna leave. Alright, let's see. Okay, so that's Ness. What? No way. Oh my... What?
You probably didn't know that N64 games work on the Sega Genesis. That's because I'm lying and they can't. You can play Wii games on the Nintendo Switch. It was definitely strange having the Nintendo Switch not take discs or be backwards compatible, but that wasn't actually the original plan. If you have an OLED Switch with the dock, you can take a Wii or Wii U game and place it inside the dock behind the console. This is amazing. I'm playing Mario Kart Wii with a JoyCon, but also, and more importantly, I'm lying. And with that, my summer lying comes to an end. You can check out the entire Summer Lies compilation on my YouTube channel right now, and also the entire August Lies compilation. More lies to come in September.